Hey now, we are at Charles Kidd Nichols, and Charles Kidd Nichols was a turn of the century pitcher. And I would argue he ended his career, 1908? I can probably look it up real quickly right here. He ended his career in 1906. 1906. I was close. 1906 with 300 and some odd wins, whatever. He was the youngest pitcher and will be the youngest pitcher ever to get to 300 wins. And he got it at age 30, which is just unheard of today. When he retired, he was number 3 all time in wins besides Cy Young and Pud Galvin. Now, Cy Young lived a little bit longer than Ken Nichols, but Cy Young being the name Cy Young obviously gives it more criteria, more expensive to get an autograph from. But Ken Nichols passed away in 1953, got elected to the Hall of Fame back in 1949. So he was kind of not really known. People weren't really getting autographs back then in 1949, especially from players that had retired by then. I mean, there were a couple out there, but not many people were getting autographs. Then he got into the Hall of Fame, and he was a very gracious signer. So all things considered, I would say his autograph price is fairly reasonable. There are a lot of check cuts, and I want to use check cuts. We'll get into this later versus normal cuts that you can get. They're about $600 each now. I had one once. I had an extra one. I sold it to Jake, Legends Never Die. I gave him a deal because that's what friends do for friends. But we're going to look now at the autograph analysis of Charles Kidd Nichols. And as you watch this, it's very tough. You got to be very careful. So I don't want to spoil it too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the PSA database right now, and we can talk about the autograph analysis. So we're going to start right here. And you can see by the time Nichols was signing, a lot of times it was the fact that he was already in the Hall of Fame. So most of the autographs are signed Charles Kidd Nichols if it has to do with something baseball, or Charles A. Nichols, or usually Charles A. Nichols if it's like a letter or a legal document. So what's really tough usually is you find here, and I'm like, this is a little different. Usually there's a break between the C and the H right here. And this one is not shaky at all. Usually his autograph shakes. I mean, there is a chance, I don't know who Jimmy Wiggins is, but maybe he was a friend and that's how this got signed. 8x10 autographs of his are basically unheard of right here. What you're looking for is stuff that's a little more shaky right here. So this is obviously a government postcard right here. And what's important when I look at Kidd Nichols, number one, is a couple of things right here, is the fact that you can see right here, the C is by itself. I usually want the C and this beginning point to be pretty much level. I don't want to see it up here. I don't want to see it below. I want it pretty much level. The H right here is standalone usually. You can see right here, the key thing to me is as little shakiness as possible. And obviously, when he passed away, there was shakiness. He died of cancer. He lived to a fairly old age. So he was very good with signing requests. But again, it was just like how many people were looking out in Kansas City and getting his autograph? Not too many. Let's keep going right here. Signed checks. So let's talk about the signed checks. What's interesting about the signed checks are there are quite a few of these out there. They pretty much look like this. They're all in the same from Kansas City Bank right here. They have this bottom right here. And so if I were to buy a cut, and we talked about this earlier, it would be a signed check cut of his. It better be signed Charles A. Nichols. You better be able to see this line because they all have this line. Now, it's very rare that you see a full check. There can't be more than 5 full checks in the market that I know of. Most of them are cut. But you can see right here still, you see how that C, the beginning right here, lines up with the bottom of the C. The H does roll into this. It doesn't have to, but there's a break between the H and the A right here. You see the A right. I mean, this is good. These Charles A. Nichols checks are good. They're out there. The full checks go for a couple thousand now. They become very rare and fairly collectible right here. So again, here is a letter right here. You got the full Charles A. Nichols. You can see it's very shaky. The H is a standalone, which we talked about, which you want to see pretty much on a flat plane right here. It is shaky. Again, I think this is good. And again, you see how the beginning of the C here touches basically where the bottom of this is. That's really what I'm looking for if I were to buy a Kid Nichols today. I mean, if I'm buying a Kid Nichols, it's a check, a letter, or something 100%. Like this right here, I don't know what this is. It may say to you, I have a little box blocking me right here. But this is so shaky. Again, the good thing I like to see is the C right here. This is all line. But again, this, as Ron says, this is a very easy autograph to forge. Look how shaky it is. Even a forger is going to forge something real shaky like this. Again, this is much nicer. Again, the C right here comes out a little bit more, as you can see, but it's still on the same plane right here. The Kid comes out right here. The H is a standalone H that we talked about. I mean, you have a full letter, so you know it's good. If I didn't see a full letter, though, I'm going to go back. I wouldn't be buying this. So right here. So yeah, here's the, when you go back here, you can see 1951, 1951. Again, I want to talk about these right here. And a lot of times when Nichols was signing, you see the checks. And again, this is a signed check cut, which I'm good with. You see the bottom of the C here, lines up here. Charles A. Nichols, which you want to see. These award programs, I don't know the history of them. Obviously, he was awarded from the Cooperative Club of Kansas City. A lot of times when you see these autographs, I think when you mailed it to him, you got this sent back. I don't know for sure, but there are a lot of these award programs out there. When I sold mine, it looked just like this with the check part of this Nichols Award Day program. And again, a lot of times there's even signed with it. We'll come back to the Hall of Fame postcards. I don't know what to say about them, only because they're signed all over the place. I mean, the good thing is that this C and this C, you could see the lines. You'll see a lot of these Kid Nichols where it goes around like this. I've seen it signed up. I've seen it signed at the bottom. I've seen it signed straight across. I don't know if I feel comfortable with any of them, to be honest. Again, this was the fact that he got involved with the movie business. He got along with actually Joe Tinker. So, but again, this is a nice, beautiful letter right here. You can see the C right here starts off here. It goes through here. It's a nice flat plane. The K starts here, comes up. So that's really what you want to see. Again, this is very similar to that as well. You see how the C comes here and it's underlined right here. The K comes up right here. It's a nice flat plane, not too shaky. I like this one as well. I can't see it down here, but obviously this is letterhead, so we know it's good. And finally, it's this one, which is a close-up right here. And this is my favorite one, only because I own this letter. So this is from the Sporting News, signed Charles Kid Nichols. I actually found this at the National 2018 or 2019. I paid $1,000 for it. I thought it was a steal because it had the Sporting News letterhead. It had a Charles Kid Nichols on it. It was just the provenance. There's a lot of these out there where they sold these. So anyways, let's talk about fakes of Kid Nichols. So we're going to start right here. So I don't know why I can't zoom in right now. Let's zoom in. I am not a fan. I know these all have proofs and everything like this. I'll tell you why I don't like this autograph. Number one is this C right here. C should be starting out here. It comes in too much. This space is too big right here. The H, yes, the H is a separate letter, but it shouldn't be this far away at all. The Kid should be coming up line, kind of like this. The Kid should be coming up right here. And the Nichols should all be one. There should be no breaks like between the L and the S. So I'm just not a fan of this autograph at all. Circa whatever. Not a fan. Is this the same one? I can't tell. Again, this one is a different one. Again, this sold for $33,000. I am personally not a fan. The reason I'm not a fan of this, and again, there's so many fakes out there. You just have to be like, people weren't getting single sign nickel balls. You know what I'm saying? And you see how the C, it like kind of started here, then it came up. It should be much more aligned down here. That's I don't like about. Usually there's a break between the H and the A. Again, the Kid should be further on the bottom, and this N just feels a little too pinched for my liking. Do I know it's fake? Of course not, but it's not one I would buy. Moving on. This sold for $31,000. This is the one we looked at before. Again, not a fan at all. We go into REA archives, and the reason why I want to pull up REA is the fact that there were a lot of, you see how here, I'm much with the Nichols here, it kind of goes around like this. And so you could sort of get a feel why I think these are good. I think this is the reason why he signed these autographs, because he has such a long name. But if we go further down, I thought again, a lot of you're gonna see a lot of these signed souvenir cards, and again, that's the way I'd want to see it. Yeah, the souvenir. I mean, unfortunately, I can't pull any. Just be weary of these Hall of Fame plaque postcards. They're like, there's a lot of them out there. I don't feel comfortable with a lot of them. Okay, here's one right here. So let's go. This is eBay right now. So again, I won't even touch the baseballs. I know they're all sorted and everything like that. It's just, I don't know. I just very weird to me that Charles Nichols would sign some. And again, is it fake? I don't know. PSA said it was real. So again, just the concern to me personally, I like when he sort of goes around. I don't know why he added the A right here. Usually the kid, that K down here is a little higher up than it is right here. But again, this is in a PSA database. PSA said it's good. So, I mean, I would sell it if I had it on a PSA database holder like that. We just looked at this one. There's one like we talked about this one. And again, this has a Beckett COA. Can I say it's fake for sure? No, it's just really spread out for a Nichols autograph for me to be comfortable. And 40,000 is a lot of money. So there's one. Oh yeah, this right here. This cut sold for $45. So I think it sold for the right amount of money, obviously. See original listing. I don't see how that C starts way too high for me. Just way too high to be comfortable. I think someone tried to get away with this as a signed check. But again, we don't see that line at the bottom, which you really want to see. This has no COA is my guess. So pre-printed. Oh, this is not a pre-printed. This was hand signed. Yeah, but who hand signed it? I don't know. Not a fan at all. The C drops down. It's not on a nice plane. So yeah, so just be careful out there with Nichols. I mean, if you're buying it, buy a, like I said, check cut if you have to buy one. Maybe on the souvenir, those plaques that I showed you, number 2. And number 3 is a signed letter. Pony up the money. It's going to cost you $1,000 if you want to get a nice Kid Nichols autograph. So, and I think that's a bargain. So for a turn of the century player. So normally I would say Phil Niekro's next, but tomorrow is the Hall of Fame announcement. And my guess is at least Beltran or Jones will get in, if not both. So my guess is I'm going to have to doing Beltran and Jones before I get to Phil Niekro. So as always, thank you so much for watching and keep collecting.